sandalias para que caminaran por el mundo.
En un hogar también me soñé de ser papá porque además no quiero.
Es una sociedad patrimonial que está tejida por el amor. Que
poner en evidencia los diferentes tipos de familia. Esta semana yo escuchaba...
Let's talk gay marriage.
Sure.
You're not big on gay marriage.
No, I'm not on a social level. I think the government ought to be completely out of the business of marriage. I think the government sucks at everything, is my short message for today. The government is terrible at everything. If the government's goal was to forward traditional marriage, it utterly failed, obviously, as proved.
But you don't mind it being out of the business of traditional marriage at all?
No,
right?
I think the government should be out of all marriage. I think the government stinks at this. You know, now, I will say that, I think the idea of the government subsidizing gay marriage is silly because I don't think that there's societal benefit to gay marriage. If you're going to make the argument that government should be involved in marriage at all, which is not even an argument with which I agree at this point.
But it's the way it is right now.
Right.
So let's just go from that,
that
base.
So before I get there, one quick point. The reason I want the government out of the business of marriage is because now that the government has enshrined gay marriage, the next step is going to be going to religious people and telling them they have to engage with same-sex weddings. So as a religious person, this is problematic to me. I want a society in which I can do what I want, and I don't have to care what you think, and you can do what you want, and you don't have to care what I think.
Right.
That doesn't mean you get to come into my synagogue and get married. It also doesn't mean that I have to go to your gay wedding.
Right, and that's an interesting place to have the discussion because I would argue for gay marriage for the exact reasons. I don't want the government involved in all of these things, and that's exactly why gay marriage should exist. And I think if Rand Paul had hit that point harder, it would have made a sensible libertarian argument for limited government. And you know what? You want to marry a dude? Go ahead. And you want to smoke weed? Go ahead.
You're right. Well, I tend to agree. Both of those things I agree with. And by the way, I find people who smoke weed unbelievably irritating, but that's not my business. Right? I mean, this is the beauty of America is you don't have to give a crap what I think. As far as the secondary argument about let's take the predicate that government is now involved in marriage. Should government subsidize gay marriage and straight marriage the same way? My answer is no, because the only purpose for the government getting involved in marriage is the procreation of the next generation and the raising of that generation. And it's my belief that a man and a woman do a better job of raising a child and producing children, obviously biologically, than two men or two women.
But isn't the child part of it sort of secondary? I mean, there are plenty of people that get married, gay couples and straight couples that don't have kids.
This is
so marriage in and of itself isn't just about...
But at a governmental level, I don't care about those people. Meaning, like, I care. I'm happy that they're happy, but I don't really care what they do. Like, the government theoretically has an interest in the production of the next generation.
Right.
Right. That's the only interest in marriage. So, in fact, you could even make a case that the government ought to be giving, basically tax benefits for having kids, and no benefit for marriage. Right. But the truth is, the reason that this was created in the first place, obviously, is because before the advent, long before the advent of modern birth control, the fair assumption was that if you were having sex, then you were going to get pregnant, right? At least if you were having straight sex, you were going to get pregnant. And thus, we wanted to incentivize people to stick around for that because single motherhood is bad for the community. And so we were going to subsidize that with tax benefits.